Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. It's so good to see you guys here again. This week we want to show you guys the smallest little village we've ever stayed in. We are Sarah and Marek. A couple months ago we decided to start our YouTube channel and it's been a whirlwind of an adventure so far. Our travels have taken us to some pretty interesting places and this week is no different. Subscribe and come along for our budget adventures.
Something interesting we've noticed since exploring the UK is how almost every place you visit is rich in history, and Coveney is no different. The small village of Coveney lies 15 miles north of Cambridge and is home to roughly 165 people. Coveney is first mentioned in 1060 and here we are in 2020, almost 1,000 years later. Coveney started out as a farming community, but in recent years has seen a shift, which we'll tell you a bit more about later.
That Coveney is quite old, and something that I found interesting is all the village signs around. The village signs are very symbolic, and the reason I find that interesting is because if you think about how old the town is and how way back then a lot of people didn't read and write, so the way they would almost name a village is by the symbols or pictures, and that is how they would communicate back then.
So you would have seen the planes just flying past, and this is something quite interesting for us, is that we were actually told that just down that side there's actually a US military base. So it's quite cool. Every day, every couple of days, you'll see these massive army planes flying over, all these different types of helicopters, and just it's something very, very unique to us. So the one thing we will say about this place is that it is freezing. Us little East Coasters from South Africa are not used to this weather, which is why you see this beanie in so many videos these days. But anyway, another thing that we find quite interesting is that this town of Coveney, or rather this village, actually used to be much bigger. There used to be double the population that used to stay here. And like an example of that is that previously you would have an entire field like this covered with people, farm workers picking up potatoes and sugar beets and stuff that they grow in this region. But since farming has become a whole lot more industrialized, you would have one person sitting on a piece of machinery being able to do an entire field like this, whereas before you would have quite a few people doing the same work. So that's actually forced people out of the village and forced them to go find jobs elsewhere. So like before you would have pubs and shops and you'd have a bustling little town here happening, but since everybody has left, there's no pubs, there's not even a single shop to be found in Coveney, which is why it is so small here. So another thing that we found quite interesting is that although this town is so small and like we said there's not even a single shop, you'll be surprised because there's just construction happening everywhere and it just feels like everywhere you look there's another house being built. And we think, I mean this is just our opinion, we think that now with the world of work going the way that it is, and that you are able to, or not actually have to go into an office anymore and everything can be done online, it's now giving people greater flexibility and greater freedom to move out of the cities and move into these smaller towns and just escape the big city rush and all that, and just return to a more simple and more relaxed way of life.
So I've just been filming these little cows in this field behind me, and they saw me and got very interested and came to say hello. They're very cute.
Whoa, it is freezing. Like, I can't even use my hands at the moment. But another interesting thing that we wanted to tell you guys is, as you can see, we're standing in a field, just outside a field of black soil. So an interesting thing about this is, as you'll see from this lovely drone shot that I'll give you now, the town of Coveney is actually higher than the lower lying levels here. So what actually happened here is that this used to be one big swampland, a big marsh. It was just basically covered in water. And then people then thought about it and they're like, hang on, let's drain this area and then turn it into farming land. But because this water had stagnated here and just lay around here, it actually then created very high nutrient soil, so nutrient rich soil, and that's the reason for the soil being so black. So that's very, very nutritious for different crops to grow.
So where we've been staying for the past month is actually the old school. So this building was the old school for the village before it closed down and then was turned into a house where we're currently staying. And another thing that we find quite interesting is there are quite a few buildings like that around here, where the building that it was built for a certain purpose, so the old vicarage or the old rectory or the old this or that, and that is kind of a way of keeping the history alive, in that it may be a house now, but this is what it was previously. And this house literally doesn't have a number. Its number is the old school lane, Coveney. So I've never seen that before. It's quite interesting. So we haven't flown our drone over the house where we're staying because there are actually horses here and we don't want to disturb them or make them distressed in any way, and it's also out of respect for our host. So we want to show you guys just how small this place really is, and to do that we're going to do something a little bit different.
So what I'm going to do is run from one end of town to the next as fast as I can. And you need to make sure we're in the UK now, so you have to wear your trusty yellow vest.
So I will be following Marek on the back, and I will try to keep up with him because he can run pretty fast. So I'll be riding behind him and filming. Let's see how this goes. Here's the Coveney sign. 3, 2, 1, go! Oh gosh, he's leaving me behind already. Keep it up, my love. Almost there. Finish line, approaching. Woohoo! Done. That was a hard push.
You guys can't see it. 1.32 Ks. That was 3 minutes and 43 seconds.
Nice.
Good effort.
Thank you guys so much for watching this week's video. We hope you enjoyed our tour of the smallest town / village we've ever stayed in.
And just to add more perspective as to how small this place really is, that one bus that you saw when we just ran past now, that is literally the only bus that comes through this place per week. So we have one bus per week, and also getting an Uber to come out here is also next to impossible.
Pretty much impossible. But anyway, we hope you guys enjoyed this week's video. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe so you can join us for our European adventures. See you guys back again next week Friday.
I can't even I can't even look at the phone.
I hope this isn't too shaky. I'm literally shaking.
Ah.